So be it. Thank you, Jacques. Better? Good? All right. So are we good to go? All right. So tonight we're gonna be talking about the influence of spiritual world in a subject of obsession that brings a lot of people curiosity about it, what it is, how it happened, how can I how can I not get obsessed or maybe not be an obsessor of someone. So stay with me and here we go. Usually when people ask about the influence of the spiritual world and we use the word obsession, many things comes to people's mind. And I think most of people, not here because I'm the spirit center, but yeah, no, most people, but even here sometimes we get confused and we think about that, about ghosts and how ghosts interact in our lives. We watch a lot of movies like Ghost itself, when the spirits, touches things and put things on make things fall on the floor. But obsession is not exactly about ghosts. Start with the word ghost, that is kind of wrong because there is no ghosts as it is as the movie on Hollywood promotes to us. We're always spirits. Some of spirits are incarnated like us, some spirits are disincarnated on another realm, on another let's just say world, the material world, but we are all spirits. We are wearing this body here. The others that is they are here present, they're not. They are just spirits, not ghosts, or the famous one that is, I think in English is Gasper, isn't it? Gasper in English. Casper. Yeah, in Portuguese is Gasparzinho. Yeah, but in English is Casper, isn't Casper? Yes. So yeah, we're not going to talk about Casper tonight, but we are talking about spirits, just like me, just like you, only spirits. All right. So what is obsession? Anyone have an idea what is obsession is? Any insights? It's a persistent idea. Getting right. So according to Kardec, obsession is the persistent action that the ignorant spirit exerts on an individual. It presents very diverse characters, from simple moral influence without noticeable external signs, and even the complete disturbance of the organism and the mental faculties. So it's just like faculties. Thank you. So this is on the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 28, item 81, that Kardec says. Of course, he goes on and on, explain a bit about it. But it's just like persistent idea that a spirit put towards someone else, or maybe few things, because you can get obsessed with few things as well. But tonight we're going to be talking more about obsession in a sense, one to other, not us towards some material stuff, because we can even incarnated, we can be obsessed with material things like work because I want to money. We can be obsessed with cars, we can be obsessed with, or yeah, like but we are not going to be talk about this kind of thinking and thoughts towards material things reincarnated. We're going to be talking about on the spirit to spirits. All right, incarnated is incarnated. We're going tonight, that's what we're going to be going through. And when we say about a persistent action of an ignorant spirit, is because ignorant because they don't know better, they, or maybe they choose not to enlighten themselves and choose this path of obsession, or maybe they not even know what they are doing it. So we always have to be careful when we talk about obsession to not get judgment about spirits. Some, of course, are doing because they want to, they choose to, but some simply don't know what they're doing. They're simply doing it and they don't know it is wrong. They may even think they're doing well, they're doing good towards someone else, and they are not. So we always have to be free of judgment when we talk about obsession, because we don't know exactly to who we are speaking to and what that spirit is going through to be on that position of obsessing or maybe be obsessed. All right. And saying that, Kardec, when he starts to explain and the gospel according to spirit about obsession, he comes to talk about levels of obsession. All right. And another thing that before we go to the level of obsession, because another thing that we have to be careful here is not that you are, let's just say 1 to 10. Oh, I am level 1, 2, 3. Are you at level 7? It's not like that. It's not like exactly a table that you can put where the obsession is. It's just like overall consensus of what is happening to you, and so you kind of may fit on that area. So let's not get obsessed with what levels of obsessions, but it's just sort of like a guideline. So especially if you on the spirit center, that usually is the houses that deal with a lot of those things and study with more deep and thought about it, and how to not get obsessed, how to enlighten spirit, and how to choose another path that is not obsession. So let's just keep that in mind. And another thing that Kardec explains about obsession, it's always it's kind of a choice. It's kind of, because just think about like a radio, all right? For you to listen to some station, you have to synchronize to that station. For to tune, thank you, to tune to that radio station. Is about vibration. You have the hertz, the waves of hertz, and whatever radio waves there is for radios. So if you wanted to tune to the 973 Brisbane Radio River, you have to go 97.3. Then you're gonna tune that and you're gonna listen to what they're saying. If you wanted to listen to rock, you go to the triple M, and I don't remember the name of triple M, but you have to tune to that. For our obsession to occur as well, we have to tune as well with that spirit. We have to be vibrating on the same level, so that tune can happen, and then you can start to exchange energy. So an obsession only will occur if that happen. So that's why I say it's kind of, but it's always a choice on that sense, because to obsession to occur, you always have to have two subjects, an obsessor and obsessed. So those two have to be on the same vibration, so the exchange of energies occur. All right. And another thing before we go to the level of obsession, affinity, yes. But when you have affinity with something, you start to vibrate on the same vibration. Yeah. Like if I like chocolate and you like chocolate, we're gonna be what? Fat. Yeah, that's true. Now depends if it's just a little piece every day. But yeah, like, so it doesn't matter if you don't have anything in common, and we always agree with everything here on the center. But if you like chocolate and I like chocolate, we're gonna have one thing in common, and in that moment our vibrations gonna meet. We probably gonna share a little piece of chocolate, and then we're gonna have the same vibrations. All right. And I'm just going through very quick about this level of obsessions and things like that, because tonight I don't want to focus too much on that. So one of the first level of obsession that Kardec brings to us is the simple obsession. That is, simple obsession occurs when the spirit imposes itself on a person. They can only attach themselves to people whose thoughts and inclinations attract them. So not always you're gonna be listening. Do you know on those one funny thing about obsession, those cartoon movies, you have like a little devil and a little angel over here, and then you choose which one to listen to. The obsession will be kind of in a funny way on that sense. You're gonna have your obsessor here, like just say the little devil over here, putting some ideas, because the angel, we're going to call that the mentor, always going to tell you good things to do, like always try to keep you online. But it's just going to keep that character here. Always going to tell you, do this. And then kind of ignore. At some point, because he's persistent on that idea, you can listen or not. Or maybe if you have, a bad day, that your vibration is too low, you're going to kind of start to listen to those ideas. So it's that kind of simple obsession. You really have to tune to that same level of vibration of that spirit, so you can maybe affect what that spirit is trying to impose to you. All good through here? The second level of obsession is the fascination, that it is an illusion which is produced by the direct action of a spirit of a person's thought, and which paralyzes or his or her judgment. The obsession is going to start with this simple. Once you tune with that spirit, and then that spirit tune with you, he's going to attach to that, and going to keep giving you more thoughts and more things for you to think about it. And then if you keep your vibration low and keep, like, if you kind of start to go towards those, I would say, negative feelings, just easy way to put that, you is getting even more attached and attached, and at some point those ideas that on the beginning, on the simple obsession, look so silly and so I would never do that, that is, you're gonna stop, you're gonna be stopping of judging those thoughts and think they are okay. That is when a level of fascination start to happen. Something that before you not even think about it, that would be correct. Now on the fascination, you don't have the judgment to judge if that is right or wrong. You kind of lose your will to judgment. All right. And the second level, the third level that I forgot to put the name here is forgot the name. Oh my goodness. 1 second. A little. 81. Oh, it's not here. It's on the Medium's book that I got that. Simple fascination then is on the next, correct. I will get the name soon. So the third level, I will get the name soon, that is on the next slide. It is a constraint which paralyzes the will of its victim to make one act in spite of oneself, reducing the person to a state of absolute bondage. Is when subjugation, thank you. That's the word. Thank you very much. So is when the level of obsession is so, the bond is so strong that you kind of lose your will. You kind of act pretty much on that spirit that is commanding you to do it. You don't choose to yourself anymore. Some people that can stop drinking, can stop smoking. If you have some spirits that wants to keep living, because once you are disincarnated, you can have more, you can't have those material things. And some spirits, through obsession, attached to other incarnated spirits, to still have those feelings, because it's more like a feeling, it's not like a sensation. That's the better word for it. So they attach to people, maybe start with a simple obsession that you're going to have one drink Saturday night, then you having a drink Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then you choose Wednesday, no. But then on Thursday, your boss was so terrible at you, then you decide to have two, so the levels of obsession grows with things, and that at some point you not even remember why you're drinking so much, or why you're smoking so much, or why you're eating so much, or why you being so, not evil, but so mean to everyone, is when you kind of acting things that before wasn't meant to be you, but now you totally lose your choice. You acting because you're under influence of that obsessor. So that's the subjugation, like we say, that's the kind of top. Yes. Serious mental health. Yeah, we're gonna get that on the next slide. And just one note here, because when you talk about obsession, and a lot of people make confusion about ghosts and things like that, there is no possession like movies and Hollywood brings to us. You're gonna have a spirit that come towards you, and you're gonna get inside of your body and gonna be acting like you, and you're gonna be on the back of your mind like powerless. That never will occur. A body can help two perispirits. You have your perispirit here, your spirit, your soul inside of you. What happens is that obsessor attached to you to fluids, to your the not chakras, the centro de força, yeah, the in English, centro de forças in English. Centro de forças in English. Yeah, no, it's different. Yeah, but the ones you have, usually here on your back, the shoulders, is the centro de forças. But that is more technical thing about obsession, but we're not going to get there tonight. But as I said, there is no possession. That spirit's not going to penetrate your body, and take over your body. It's like an influence, an idea, that little voice on your mind that keep feeding you with thoughts and do this, do that, don't do this, do that. So then he attached to you, to your vibrations, and then that spirits kind of go with you wherever you go. So there is no possession. No one can get inside of your body, take over you. That's not going to happen. All right. So how obsession can happen? Can happen from disincarnated spirits to incarnated, that we just talk about here. Like let's just bring like an example. Someone die, as a book that I read, a guy kills someone to get the money from the family, and then kill someone to take over all the fortune, and then that spirit wants to get revenge, and so you start to be close to that person, and then put in ideas and become an obsessor of that incarnated spirit. So just know it can happen like that, or many others. So is a disincarnated that kind of attached to us, that are incarnated and keep putting ideas on you, and then it can happen through many reincarnations. That is true. Yeah, for centuries. Divaldo had one that on the movie explains they're going like towards many incarnations until they so decide to forgive and sit in love, and then it goes through. On the movie of Divaldo, yeah, until that Divaldo adopt like the spirit that used to be his mother obsessor spirit. So then towards love, they kind of break that cycle, So spoiler for the end of the lecture. So it can occur from incarnated to incarnated. Really? You have yours beside you there? Couldn't see that. So yeah, so how you can obsess someone, be incarnated, you think it's like vibrations and just follow your, no, we can, our 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 thoughts have power. We vibrate when we do the prayer box here, and then we emanate thoughts and things that we always ask you guys to think about this, send that. We create energy. So if you are in a state not too well with someone, and always when you think about that person is on a mean way, or a very bad way, oh, I wish that person break a leg, I don't know, you emanate energy, and that energy go towards that person. So you can be the obsessor of someone, and someone can be an obsessor towards you. So we have, yeah, mother-in-laws. Luckily I like mine. So yeah, so you get an idea how you can get obsessed on incarnated towards incarnated. Another example of can happen, like we can be obsessor of a disincarnated spirit. If you lose someone that you love so much and you can't let it go, and you attach to a feeling that you want that person to still be here incarnated on earth, we are causing damage to that spirit because they can keep going on their journey knowing you are suffering here. So that's the most common case, when an incarnated can be an obsessor of a disincarnated spirit. Because even though we love people so much, death is just a natural way of passing. And even though it's gonna hurt, we're gonna cry. We as spirits, we are not saying you're not gonna feel the pain. We are not saying you're not gonna miss that person. We are not saying you're not gonna have bad days that you really wish, that you're still here. But we have to control our emotion and send to that person that just passed a thought of love, caring, and of course, I miss you, but on a good way. So that person can feel our vibration and just keep going on whatever path that spirit needs to go. We can't keep those spirits attached to us here on earth just because we are selfish and wish that spirit's still here. Because we are just separated because it's just like a simple veil. They're just here as well, but on another dimension. And we always can be in touch through prayers, to love, to caring. And so we always have to be careful when we decide to be attached for those that are already on the spiritual realm. So that's an example of incarnated to disincarnated obsession. Then we have another one that is disincarnated to disincarnated. It goes on the same way that incarnated to incarnated, but how would that happen on the spiritual realm? So when we got some spirits that just impose themselves towards other because they know a little bit more, and especially on umbral and like low spheres, that we have some spirits that kind of make others be like their slaves and do other jobs for them, like on a political society. So there's just spirits that is just ignorance and use the force and the power that they have to kind of make others do things for them. All right. And then we still have one more type of obsession. Any guess? Out obsession. That's the word the worst for on my point of view. Because you know what? For the other ones, you always have to involve. So there is always hope that at least one of them will get enlightened and follow, you know? But when we are talking about auto obsession, is when we have to fight ourselves on a sense that how we can be our own obsessor. Yeah, I think self obsession would be a better word. Thank you. That was out. I just add later. But I think you guys get the sense what I'm trying to bring you here. How that occur, is when because it's easy for us sometimes when we have some thoughts and then we say, it's just my obsessor doing that. I'm not worth it. I'm not going to do it because this or that. And sometimes we blame the obsessor, but many times we don't have one. It's ourselves doing that to us because we don't believe in ourselves. We don't have faith in ourselves. And I'm working on mine as well because sometimes I have my highs and lows, but it can happen. And it is natural because it's not always that we are happy. It's not always that we are, keep our vibrations 100%. It's not like that, and we know. But we have to be careful to not blame other spirits for things that coming from inside ourselves. So those are the most common obsession types. Yes. I think so. I think it could be because you can, you love yourself too much. Keep looking at the mirror. Yeah, because obsession is not self obsession is not all in a bad way that I'm not worth it, but I'm really good. I'm better than everyone. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for bringing that example as well. No one is better than me. No one can do better than I. That is a kind of, self-obsession and narcissism, and you kind of destructing yourself on that sense, because it's making you not see others as they, yeah. So that's correct. Thank Jackson. In this little table, this little graphic here, hey, what happened? Lex? Okay. This little graphic here is not, I didn't create that. I have a confession to do it. This one who created was Jusara Cornwall. She's the president of United States Spirits Federation. She was here in Brisbane 3 years ago. She gave lectures for us, and she synthesized of obsession on a simple way for us to kind of understand the levels of obsession. And obsession, obsessor, and obsess. Okay, so it's just like to synthesize where we just talk about that, so we can have like a quick to-go understanding about it. So on the simple obsession, the obsessor imposes interference. He just imposes. And the obsess feels like an important, a simple important, and you can choose or not, it's not that bad. On the fascination is an illusion upon the thought, when the obsessor, creates like an illusion. And then the obsess impedes reason. So you stop reason with the thoughts that you are having in your head. Does that make sense to now? And on subjugation, the obsessor creates a constriction. So he kind of, have a lot of power towards you. And the obsessed, the person that is suffering the obsession, kind of paralyze the will. So you stop having your own will and start to act on the will of obsessor. So this is a simple graphic just to synthesize what we just talked to now. Of course, it's not just like that. No, our levels is just a general idea, so we could try to understand and comprehend obsession. All right. So now that we know about what is obsession, it's not ghosts, are not possession, so how we can prevent obsession? How we can stop being the obsessor of someone? Or how we can make some, if it's the case that you may be affected by obsession, how can you just prevent that or stop that from happening? First of all, prayer. When we pray, we elevate our vibration, connect with us and with our divine. That's the best medicine, and it's the one that you can practice at home, at work, driving, in the shower, in the center, even sleeping. If you, before you go to bed, if you decide, elevate your thought to God, surrender yourselves, your fears, whatever you're feeling, and we don't need to say, I am being obsessed, or I am my own obsessor. We don't need to go towards that on our prayers. Just simple, let God know how you feel. He knows what's going on with you. And then help will comes to you. That's the best medicine and first thing that we need to do. Not only because we are afraid to get obsessed, but because connect with our divine and always elevate our vibrations and avoid to anything that, let's just say evil to kind of come towards us and attach to us. Another thing, another example is the gospel at home. Not a simple, it's like an act that we can do it. When we pray in the recess of our home, constitute always an evangelical seed field, extensive to the entities of the invisible plane, who assisted, thus allowing its later development and fructification. Thus, those obsessed must be orientated to regularly study the gospel, followed by the prayer at home with their families. When we do the gospel at home, it's just like Kardec brings to us here. It's like a seed of, it's a little seed that we plant. And every time we keep doing that, bring our family together to pray, and a beacon of light our house become. We elevate the vibrations of our home. Our home become a safe place for us to rest, and a safe place to what's the word in English that I'm missing now? Acolher. Embrace, thank you. To embrace those that wants to feel that happiness, that wants to feel that light. It's the same here on the center when we get here. Since the first moment that you step on the door, that we do our initial prayer, we do the lecture here, that is this on the way is a kind of gospel at home, that we bring a subject here that we discussed and study. It's bring not only us, but all the spirits that are here present, enlightenment and more material to choose to do better, on a sense to choose a path of goodness, not ignorance. Because not all obsessor is evil in a sense that just want to cause you harm feelings. Some of, as we just spoke before, are just ignorance. They just love you too much and wants to be with you. Or some just want to keep feeling those sensations when they're alive, like hungry, thirsty, smoking, not because they're evil, but just because they want to keep feeling those sensations, and they don't know better. They don't know another way. They don't know where to look. And when we transform our house, our community on the beacon of light that offer those spirits enlightenment, they will feel that relief. And the spirits um, that always come to help us, we will offer them rescue and take them in good care. And another important thing that we always can have at Gospel at Home, that we always have here on the center as well, is the water. Because the water is the more neutral thing that can be transformed. And on that little cup of water, the spirits, the good spirits, their mentors that always come and help us when we are doing our prayers and our meetings, they deposit on that water everything that every person needed. Whatever you need, whatever your physical body needs, whatever your spiritual body needs, that water will contain those energy, and you're gonna be energize with that water. That's why we always offer you guys water after the healing passes, and that's why it's so important that you have your cup of water, individual cup of. Here at the at the center we put there, but if you're at home, put a glass of water in front of you, in front of your husband. I put in front of my dog. I have my husband's, mine, and my dog water bowl on the table, and after we finish our gospel on Thursdays night, everyone drinks. And I use the same word that I use for the kids. It's Jesus water. And I say to my dog, Snowball, drink Jesus water. And she drinks it after we finish the gospel. The animals can feel as well. And it's really good for them as well. So always remember to have your water with you when you're doing your gospel. All right. Of course, not always obsession is so simple. Sometimes we have the case of subjugations. We need to a bit more hard interference, let's just say that way, or a bit more shock of interference on that sense, that we need help, that only prayer is not sufficient, that when we have the centers that offer help, we have the mediumship meetings, that maybe most of the time, not maybe, those spirits, they just need some guidance, some enlightenment, and someone to talk with them with love, with care, and show them there is another way to do it. And most of the times, Spirit Center or Spiritualist's house offer those kinds of service. So if you know someone that maybe needs some more assistance, the house is always open, so we can take the names and prayers and do the work that we do behind the scenes here. So every individual under obsessive influence should receive passes. Those that consider the pass a method of prevention are mistaken. So come to the center only for the passes because you don't want to be obsessed by someone. That's wrong. That doesn't happen just as a prevention, because paths are important. We always receiving, good energy and healing. But the only way to avoid that to happen is grow your own spirituality. That's the only way to prevent obsession. So come to the center is great. Receiving healing passes are great, but it's an individual path. Just coming to the center and thinking that you're going to be rid of obsession, that's going to happen. Wearing amulets, that's not going to happen. Of course, it does help. You know, if you have something with energy that someone gives to you with love, that is not because the object will work, but because you put the intention in that. So every time some people have those little crosses when they are praying, they believe they need to hold it when they're praying. It's not the cross that's going to do the job, but the intention that you put there, and your, you know, the caring that you're doing when you're and looking at that cross and remember of Jesus. So that's what we always have to be respectful as well for other philosophies, like Catholics, for example. They have a lot of images of saints. It's not because they believe that image will save them, but when they look at those images, they remember that person, that saint, or they remember Jesus on the cross, and then elevate their thoughts towards that person or that good spirits. So we always have to be respectful. Those things work, but it's not like an amulet that's gonna make you not be obsessed or make not evil come towards you. What really it's important here is our internal growth of spirituality. It's your own study, it's your own prayers, it's, you know, is a unique journey we can do together here as we're doing on Tuesdays night and the gospel. It's good because we always exchange. There is more energy, more people, but is everyone individual path on that sense. All right, and here's just like one of the photo to illustrate how mediumship meeting works. Usually we have like mediums of the house, and then the good spirits bring the obsessors to the table, and then we have a talk. We try to enlighten, show love, show, you know, and embrace them, and saying, look, there is a better. And sometimes not only one meeting, we have a lot of meetings. So, you know, just like us, sometimes we are a bit, you know, stubborn, that someone have to say to us 10, 20 times. Husbands are usually good with that we have to tell them 20 times before they obey us, or look that we have the reason and we have the light and the understanding. So sometimes on the mediumships meetings as well, so that obsessor needs to come many, many times, and every time a little bit of talking and enlightenment toward that spirit. All right. And another point here that is very important, that that's the thing wrong that Hollywood always bring to us as well. There's no expelling of obsessor, of the devil, of the what's the other word they use? Demons. You know, there is not come here and gonna pray towards your head and say cross and put you like fluid, water, and whatever. You're not gonna expel. Yeah, what? Sorry. I think it's salt too, isn't it? Or something like that. Yeah, like very Hollywood. That doesn't exist like that, of course. Of course, one thing to point it out is when you start to come to a center, a church, or every place that's gonna help you grow your spirituality, it kind of help you bring like a barrier, you know, and it makes hard to spirits to approach you with bad ideas. All right, because why? Because you elevate your thoughts, your vibration, you are learning, you are choosing better for yourself. Okay, but what's gonna happen? You're gonna just expel a demon, let's just say, as the movie say. All right, and what happened with that demon? You're gonna just attach the next one, or gonna come back later? There is a little, I tried to find it but I couldn't, but anyways, it's in Portuguese. There is a channel in YouTube called, in English you would say, Friends of the Light, Amigos da Luz. They are like a comedy group. They make small videos. They're amazing. They make funny videos about spiritism, and, you know, on a very funny way, and making jokes. And one of the videos, there is this lady. She had her obsessor with her, always attached, you know. And then a friend told to her, I just go to the center. that was good. They're gonna expel that demon from you. And then she went to the center. She went to the center, sit down, listen to the lecture, receive healing passes, got her water. When she walks out the door, her vibration was a bit higher, because she listened to the presenter and she stopped to think about what they're saying. And then she received the water and the prayer towards her, the healing passes. So once she walks out center, the obsessor couldn't kind of attach to her. But then there was another obsessor on the outside of the center, just waiting for his obsessed to get out. And then the obsessor was like, why I can't attach to her? And then he said, oh, just come down. It will soon. And he was really pissed about it. And then she just started walking and, kick like a rock and just start to say bad words. And then her vibration just go down. And then the obsessor was just able to attach to her again. So it's just, of course, the little video is way more funny than me telling the story. But it's sort of, you guys have the sense. So sometimes we are here on the center, but we just get our car to the corner and someone just, cross your front when they shouldn't. And then you just start saying, your vibration's gone. Yes. I change a bit, I have to confess. I still say a bit of bad words. Sorry, mentor. But now in traffic, before I say bad word, I know the intention is still there, but it's something that we have to take step by step. It's not something that you're gonna just switch, from, okay, I just saw the lecture tonight about obsession, so I'm not gonna swear anymore, not say bad words. It's not gonna happen. At some point we would do it. But in traffic, what I try to say when someone does something that I didn't like and that I think that person was wrong, because that is my judgment towards that situation. Instead of saying a bad word and say, hey, blessed one, I know deep inside, maybe my feeling's not that, but at least my words are not bad anymore. And sometimes it works. Because then I say, oh, she's abençoada, blessed one, go with God. Because it kind of breaks my thought, And today is a bit more organic for me to say more blessed words than bad words in traffic. It's still a work in progress. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Is some points that I am. Yep. Yeah, but it's something that you really have to work on it. As I said, today sometimes I'm just, hey, abençoado, hey, go, blessed one, go, creature on evolution, just go, 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 and then I start to laugh. But it's something that we really have to work on it. I'm not perfect at it, but I'm getting there one day, maybe next reincarnation. And another thing, very important, as we spoke in the beginning, some cases of obsession, like the bad cases that are requiring some mediumships meeting and the person gets that subjugation, that have like mental problems, never stop going to see a doctor. Because even though sometimes all the not bad things, but all medical conditions that we have comes from the spiritual, word. And even though is a spiritual cause of your illness, like mental illness, on the obsession that we're talking specific here tonight, is not because the person start to come to the mediumship meetings and then the work on that sense start to be done. That person still need medical assistance, because even though start on the spiritual, our bodies suffer as well. We need a psychologist, we need a doctor. And if medicine like pills are need, we have to always keep following the medicine here on the material world as well. Just because some people just think like the church is going to save you, the spirit center is going to save you, we don't need doctors, we don't need anything. No, and every illness. It's great when we do the work on the spiritual side of it, but we have to remember that we still live on the material world, and we have to live by the laws over here. And our body sometimes need pills, and it's okay. All right? Just a little breaks here. And always remember, there is a very good character with a very, I think it will be on the same basis like Aristoteles. What the great thinkers of the world comes with names? Socrates. Any other great thinkers? Buddha. Buddha. Okay. I will bring you a great one as well, because many times obsession is about, the only way to start to break that cycle is about forgiving, forgiveness, and ask to be forgiven, you know. And we always can start this process with one thing that this great mind come up with: let it go. Frozen is my favorite character of all times, and it can be present on every lecture here. We always have to remember Frozen. Let it go. Because many things that we attract to us, good or bad, on that sense that we are talking about bad because obsession and all that, you know, drama that brings with it, we have to learn to let it go. Yes. Yeah. That's the lecture you gave last week. So it's about let it go. If you think you work too much for money, you self-obsession yourself to get a perfect body, a perfect house, let it go. It's not like, you know, throw everything on the air and just be without anything. No, it's not like that. But learn to let it go things that are not bringing you peace. Learn to let it go to feeling towards other people that maybe be causing you some drama. You know, if it's your boss, try to think, just as Jackson said last week, that your boss is a father, is a grandparent. He was a son of someone's. That boss was a child with innocence at some point of his life. Maybe not now, but it was. So that child still live inside of him. So I think the lecture today was great that we talk about forgiveness last week, and then today is about obsession, because it's the only way to us to break that cycle of obsession. Us maybe be on the case of obsessing someone, or us being suffering, is let it go. Whatever you are attached to, let it go. Start to ask for forgiveness, and start forgiving whatever it needs to be forgiven. All right? And of course, forgive. Work. Because towards work, we can elevate our vibration. We can see others in other situations that can bring us more mindfulness. And I'm not saying on a sense that if we are doing some charitable work towards someone that is poor, like on a financial money wise, that we are better than that person. No, maybe that person that we are thinking we are doing some charity is teaching us great lessons that we never would have the opportunity if we haven't been working. So work is a great way to elevate our vibrations and break the cycle of obsession and obsess. Because when we are working towards others and trying to love others, we don't have time to hate. We don't have time to think on a bad way of other persons, because we are working towards goodness. All right? Self-knowledge, reading, meditating, take a walk, have a long shower, a bath, of course, environmental friendly, not much water, but on a sense that connect with the divine. Try to look yourself inside and see who you are for what you are, that we are divine and we are loved by God. And of course, the favorite one and the only one, love. I know sometimes it's hard to love people without judgment. But it's okay. It's okay if today the only thing that you can think about that person is that, okay, maybe he's a great father and I'm going to, attach to that feeling. And maybe in a month or so, I'm going to have another better feeling about that person, that maybe we are in trouble right now. So, because every time we talk about love, sometimes it seems like, I just need to love on a sense that, okay, I'm loving. And we know sometimes it's not like that. It's a process. It's a process that we have to detach about our selfishness, our pride, and a bunch of other feelings. But it's as a natural process, and love is natural for us. We that the problem is sometimes we forget how to love without restrictions. So let's do whatever we can. Do whatever you can, the best you can today. Tomorrow is going to be a better day. And then you're going to love more. Honestly, not that we can love more, but love is a magnanimous. But you know what I'm feeling? Like, build that relationship with people. And instead of being obsessors, instead of keep emanating bad vibrations to the world and to the people, to the nature, to the everyone, we can emanate love. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. If you have any contributions or anything that you'd like to add, please. No? Guys from home? Good? Jackson, can you get the prayer box, please? The prayer box, please. So, on chapter 28 of Gospel According to Spiritism, Kardec and the good spirits, they brought us many prayers that when you're sick, when, not feeling well, different situations. And the praying that I'm choose tonight for our prayer box tonight is not the prayer for the obsessed one, because it is here, item 81. To be honest, my heart didn't sync well with that prayer, to be very honest with you. Thank you. But instead, when I was reading the material for this presentation, I found this prayer that is item 64, that is for the suffering souls, because that's what we are when we are on this situation of obsessing or obsessor. We are just suffering souls. That is, that we are not looking at the light. They're still attached to feelings, still attached to things. And we just need help to see the light and see the ones that are willing to help us. So for tonight, if you allow me, I would like to read that prayer as our prayer box. And after that, I just would like to invite you to think about those that maybe you are obsessing, that maybe you are having troubles in this material world. Maybe a familiar, a friend, someone at the work environment, or I don't know. Let's just send this light and this love and this feeling that we are willing to do better today, to step up one step each time, to learn to love without judgment, without attachments, and love for simple as it is, love. All right? So if you would like to close your eyes or just stay on your meditations, and then after that, we're going to be followed by the healing passes. All right? Forgiving and merciful God, may your goodness extend over all spirits who ask for our prayers, especially the soul of the suffering ones. Good spirits, whose only concern is to do good, intercede with me for their consolation. Make a ray of hope shine on their eyes, and may the divine light enlighten them regarding the imperfections that keep them from dwelling place of the blessed. Open their hearts to repentance and their desire to purify themselves, to hasten their advancement. Enable them to understand that through their efforts, they may shorten the time of their trials. May God in this goodness give them the strength to persevere in the good resolution. May these benevolent words soften their suffering by showing them that there are people on the earth who sympathize with them and desire their happiness. And for that we are grateful, God, for your love, for your support. And tonight we are sending our love and our desire towards our brothers and sisters for the names that are in the box, for the names that are in our minds, for our brothers and sisters that we may have a conflict. We desire them good, health, joy, happiness, as we desire for ourselves. We humbly asking you, dear Lord, give us wisdom to choose better, to love without judgment, to let go those feelings that not bring any good towards. Help us every day in our lives. Let's keep the light of the divine inside of us shining so we can show to our friends and help them on their journey too. Let our house serve you, dear Lord, as a beacon of light for those that want to embrace you and seek for help. And for those here that are present, just look around you, the light and the love that you are surrounded. Accept it because we love you and we wish you well. Accept the help and go in peace. So be it. Thank you. Thank you guys at home. I hope to see you next week. Bye.